Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Mindset Magic, where we share strategies on all things mindset, emotions, and how to thrive in life, thrive perhaps even in isolation. My name is Alia Steglinski. I'm a accredited nutritionist, personal health coach. And today I'm here with my amazing hosts. I've got Caz Sanderman from Chaos to Calm Healing, and I've got mindset and results coach, Christy Roberts. Just a quick reminder to those who are watching, please comment hashtag mindset magic and make sure you interact, drop an emoji, say hi, and let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments below. We have a wealth of experience here between us, so more than likely one of us will be able to help you out. So, ladies, welcome. And we are really, really excited to be presenting to you all the topic of fitness, motivation, strategies. And so I wanted to ask you ladies a few questions. I'm really, really interested because both of you are really fit. I mean, the way you look, the way you think, just knowing you ladies, I know that you have so much knowledge and so much energy. Like, it's just phenomenal, and a lot of us would love to have that. I know a lot of my clients would love to hear exactly what you ladies do on a weekly basis. And so the question is, if I may ask you, Kaz, what exercise do you do that works for you on a weekly basis?
Okay, so I vary my training so that I never get bored, because I get bored really easily. So I don't like repetition. So to keep myself motivated and interested and to balance my workouts, I choose a variety in my training. So I try and do at least 3 days of resistance or weight-bearing training. And I'll give you a little bit of a background as to why I think that's important, because I worked in a women's weight loss centre and for about 7 years. And one of the most interesting facts that I learned there was that from their mid-30s, women actually lose muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia, and it's an age-related muscle loss. And it's total natural occurrence. But that means that our natural resting state, our muscle burns more calories than fat. So it's actually 3 times more calories. Your muscle burns 3 times more calories than fat does when you're resting. So it's really important for women to maintain their muscle mass. So for me, I do my resistance training 3 times a week. And that could be based around, honestly, I use YouTube. I use YouTube for my training. So there's a lady by the name of Sydney Cummings who has some great sessions. There's a couple called HasFit. There's quite a few on YouTube. So you can just go onto YouTube and find some training. So I do 3 weight loss sessions of weight bearing. And then I'll do some cardio and yoga just to balance that out, because it's also really important to balance your workouts so that you're working your full body, because that's really important for posture. If you're only working your upper body and not your lower body, or your abs and not your back, you're going to have an imbalance in your posture, and then that causes trouble with, back pain or things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my training regime.
So that's about 3 days a week resistance training, and then cardio other days, or would you incorporate that with the 3 days? Or
well, the cardio will either be, so sometimes I'll train 6 days a week. So I might do 3 days of resistance, and then in between I'll either do a cardio on one day or a yoga. I do quite a lot of Kundalini yoga, which is a chakra energetic balancing yoga, and then I'll do yin yoga, so strengthening and lengthening the muscles after a resistance training session. So I don't necessarily do a lot of cardio. This morning, say, for example, so on my page, we're doing a 60-day daily intentions on my Chaos to Calm page at the moment. And I make myself be accountable by setting a daily activity intention and sharing that with my followers. And that way, you know, I'm accountable because, you know, I'm saying to them, this is what I'm going to do. And then I put up the link of what I'm going to do for the day. So that's my routine at the moment. I'm resistance, yoga, a little bit of cardio, but that's usually involved with like a body weight exercises.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's brilliant. And Christy, what exercises do you do that works for you on a weekly basis?
So Caz, I tried out that Kundalini yoga that you sent through to me, the link, and it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that. Can I say before I say do or say anything here that Alia had a baby 13 days ago, guys. I just want to like absolute hats off. The fact you're even here blows my mind. So I just really want to give the warmest heartfelt welcome to little Oliver.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. Thank you.
Just absolute congrats. I honestly, so in such admiration that you're even here.
Beautiful women, you supported me through this journey. So here I am.
We've been there.
Pardon?
We've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not very structured in my exercise, and my exercise journey's been quite a difficult one because I was never a fit person. I had this experience in school where it sounds pathetic, but I didn't get I tried out for the netball team, didn't get in, or I got into the D team and almost gave up, just thought I was no good. I thought I'm no good at sport. So I started with all these negative labels in my head. And so over the years, it wasn't until my mid-40s that I really, I tried swimming. I tried a few things over the years, didn't like it. All the inner dialogue was going on. You know, I'm no good at exercise. I don't like to sweat. That's too hard. I don't want to get puffed out. You know, that'll hurt. It's too hard, whatever. So it's been a real journey for me to get to where I am today. You know, I remember the first time I went for a walk, it was Ballarat Lake, and I kid you not, I thought I was going to pass out. I'm not kidding. I saw how far it was, and I was about a third of the way, and I didn't bring a water bottle, and my feet were hurting, and I actually got anxiety, like a Nelly, like had to stop.
When was this?
Oh, that was about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
About 6 years ago, because I didn't know how to walk. I just wasn't fit. But I thought, it'll take 20 minutes or half an hour. I didn't know, but it was a long way. It was 6 Ks, you know, and then 18 months later, I walked from Sorrento to St Kilda.
What?
Yep. I walked the bay.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many kilometers is that?
Well, I had to skip Safety Beach to Frankston because the paths there are really intermittent. I couldn't get through. And it wasn't safe, and I didn't want to go inland, but I did it was about 75K, and I did it over 5-6 days.
So you're saying for the last 6 years, that's really when you started upping your fitness?
It was like mid-40s. Yeah.
That's
and I did not exercise at all before that. At all. Yeah. And so now it's like, I mean, this morning I walked 3 Ks on the beach, you know, took my shoes off and just really grounded myself on the earth and literally just walked for a couple of Ks. That was magic. But for me, I like to walk. So that's something I've discovered. There's a quarry near me and it's quite hilly where I live. So I'm quite fortunate because I'll find tracks and I'll go up hills into the mountains and that sort of thing. So I can really push myself with some hill climbing almost. The other thing I love to do is garden. So I love my garden and I'll get out there. Yesterday I was out there gardening, but I garden into a frenzy. Like I get really in a flow and really like sweat and push myself. And to me, it's not exercise. For me, it's about finding things that I enjoy doing. Before isolation, I was swimming 2 kilometers a week. And once again, I didn't start at 2 kilometers. I started doing what I could, which was probably 8 laps. So what's that? 400 meters. But then I just build up until you actually get swim fit. And then once you get to a certain level, you can kind of keep going. So, hey.
Sorry, I can't swim, so I'm laughing at that.
That's just perfect.
You say you can't swim, but you know what? When I started swimming, and once again, I kid you not, I can't do the breathing. I never learnt in school.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to swim and I'm spluttering. You get up to the end and I'm exhausted because I don't know how to breathe properly and it's all too hard. And then I kind of worked out I can't actually do this. So I thought, well, I'll swim with my head out the water. So I felt like an idiot. You know how you feel like everybody's looking at you? And then I had to get over that because I thought, they're not looking at me. They're not looking at me. And if they are, does it really matter? Like, it's more important that I exercise than not. And so as time went on, I kind of got over that. Then I finally found some goggles that worked, that the water didn't get in my eyes. And so it's been like a layering process for me. I've always started small and I've just kind of added layers on and on and on. And then before you know it, I'm swimming 2 kilometers every week without sweating. So
That's
Fun.
yeah, so it's just kind of building up.
Yeah, that's what
The main thing I do is I try to walk twice a week. I garden once a week. So that's kind of my 3. And then anything else is a bonus.
Yeah. What about you, Alia? What training do you do?
Yeah, I love what you ladies are saying because it's, to me, I call it, rather than exercise or no pain, no gain, movement with purpose. I think when you find something that you love, of course, you can, resistance exercise is important too, and challenging yourself slightly with muscles and mixing it up and balancing out with stretches. But really, what I found is just like you ladies, like doing something that I love doing. So, and it changes. I found that it took me a while to get into actually loving movement. And, the common sense is that we all move, like we need to move to survive. Like if we're not moving, we're sick, like there's something wrong with us. And, like being in high school, I was forced to do all these sports. And I didn't even realize that I was actually quite fit. I got into cross country and high jump. But then in university, I slacked off and then I became a personal trainer, which meant 5 a.m. starts, running with clients. So my clients actually trained me at the beginning. I was actually, I remember going for a run on the oval at like 5:30 in the morning with the clients. And this was like the first month or so of personal training. And I remember just getting huffed and puffed, and my client, I'm just like, okay, we're going to stop now and just give you a break. I just couldn't talk. And over time, I got really fit because thanks to my personal training, I had no choice. But then I realized I was doing it just because I had to do it. And it was when I discovered moving with purpose. So going for a walk and smelling the flowers, and going on the beach, taking your shoes off and feeling the sand underneath your feet, and checking the water temperature, and like doing Pilates or yoga, like trying out different exercises. So for me, like I've had a baby, so I'm doing pelvic exercises at the moment and walking up and down the stairs, thinking of my glutes because I like to tone my glutes. But generally I love to go for walks and do resistance exercise twice a week. I always recommend clients to do at least twice a week to maintain muscle mass. And then I love high intensity movement as well. Yes. So I wanted to ask you ladies a few more questions, because I know with my clients, they do struggle with weight. Sometimes we find that we lose the weight through going on a diet. We go on a program and it's all great, boot camp or whatever it is. Right now, we probably can't do boot camp, but we go on a diet, for example, and everything's all swell, but then somehow it all creeps back on, and it's just not always as we plan. So one of the key questions I get, or problems that arises, is motivation. Like, a lot of people find it hard to stay motivated. So maybe I'll ask you again, Caz, what do you do when you don't feel like exercising in that week, on that morning or in that day? Like, what do you tell yourself, or what do you do?
Yeah. Okay. So, as well as being a transformation coach and a healer, I'm actually a personal trainer like yourself as well, and have been for over 10 years. So I've always taken the stance that I'm a leader. So what motivates me is that I choose to be a leader. I choose to be a motivator. And, if I lead myself first, then if I lead by example, others will follow. And then there's that ripple on effect. So as I said, I'm not always motivated. I can wake up in the morning and be like, I don't want to train. My hubby's on holidays for a month now. But I've made a commitment on my page to set daily intentions every day for 60 days so that we can help people create a new habit. So I am committed to those people. I am going to lead them by example. So I get up and I set my intention, I share it with them, I upload the session I did, and, that benefits me. It shows my integrity, and, that I've set intentions in front of other people, so I'm accountable. It benefits them, and it's a reminder to them. And I would also ask, I ask them, and I would ask your clients as well, who's watching them? Who can they lead by example? Because, people don't do what we say, they do what we do. So that's my motivation, is I choose to be a leader in life. And, I have my own beautiful adult children, but, I've chosen to do this coaching role, be a personal trainer. So I am motivated to lead other people by example. And that's what makes me get up in the morning.
That's powerful. Yeah, leading by example. So is that what you would recommend other people do too, is find their intention, or find their
yeah, well, every day. So every day we're up to day 31 now, but every day we set an activity intention. We set we have to be grateful for 3 things in our life. So we're looking for 3 things to be positive for. We set a being, a doing, and a having, or a celebrating intention for the day. So how we choose to show up in the world. And then we're also doing a reframe, a limiting belief reframe. So something that we think, and learning to speak in a more empowering way rather than disempowering. So what I would say to your clients, if they have family or friends or anyone that they're role models to, maybe they're an auntie or an uncle, or, they're a grandparent, people are watching what they're doing. So, sometimes you think, oh, no one sees what I do, no one cares, no one's watching, but they are. And, whether you put it up on Facebook like I do, or whether it's just someone who sees you out walking every day and says, oh, wow, good on them, they're so good, I'm motivated to do that. So people are watching you. You are a role model, and it does have a ripple effect. So that would be my recommendation. Just lead by example.
It's so inspiring. It really is. It's so inspiring when we just when we see others do what they say, they, you know, they lead by example, like you said. And I think as women, I can speak for myself, you know, I try to change people, like my partner, or, you know, I'll try and get them to eat healthy, but really at the end of the day, you can only change yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can have so much more power in and influence in just leading by example, and people, it's just amazing what follows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Christy, what do you tell yourself, or how do you overcome any moments where you don't feel motivated or inclined to do the usual exercise?
Yeah, I'm a master at this. I'm a master. Well, I'm not now. I'm a master at actually overcoming it, but I'm a master at putting off exercise, of coming up with reasons and excuses and why I can't do something now. Oh, and then you do it later, and then you're too tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably been my biggest challenge over the years. And what I do is I link pleasure. So I look at pain and pleasure. So pain of staying the same. And I've worked out, especially with the swimming, because to get myself to a swimming pool and to swim, I'm not a fast swimmer, because you might recall I don't like going fast. So for me, it's about going distance. But for me to get there and know, like, it's a couple of hours, because you've got to get there, you've got to swim, you've got to come home, wash your hair, like get ready. It's a big thing. And so I'd put it off. What I worked out was every time I went, I always felt good afterwards.
Yeah.
So I always, whenever I don't want to do something, I always really, I'm training my mind to understand and believe and motivate myself by thinking how good I'm going to feel once it's done. There's a number of things that I do. You really pay attention to my inner dialogue. So, you know, I've talked about beliefs on previous sessions. It's like, you know, I'm lazy. So through the filter lens, is it true? Actually, no, it's not true. I'm probably one of the most motivated people I know. So stop with that excuse. You know, oh, I'm too tired. Well, you've just woken up, you've had a good night's sleep. Why are you too tired? You know, so is it true? Is it serving me? Is it nurturing me? And is it supporting me? And if it's not, I have to really challenge it. Like, why is it there? It's just an excuse to keep me small because I don't like to change. But the more you change and the more use you get used to doing something, that's not the right language, is it? The more you get used to doing something, it becomes easier, and then it becomes more of a habit until you're doing it routinely and habitually. There's many things. Set myself up for success. And this is what I say to my clients as well, because the thing is, sometimes it's easy to come in and lose weight. Like, okay, 3 months and they lose their weight, or 6 months. And you guys as personal trainers will know this. And I can't, like, the amount of personal trainers that are now doing life coaching, because they understand you can get the weight off, but if you haven't fixed the thinking that created that issue in the first place, it's not going to be a long-term sustainable solution. The weight's going to come back on again. And so, you know, the amount of personal trainers I've talked to, and you're nodding, so I'm assuming you agree, where, you know, they get their clients, they do the work, they're looking fantastic, and then they see them 6 months or a year later and they put their weight back on.
Yeah.
And so that comes down to internal dialogue beliefs, and it comes down to mindset, and it comes down to just really challenging the thinking that created it in the first place. So and sometimes identity, because I thought of myself as a lazy person when it came to exercise. So I had to actually change that identity. And that's work that I do with my clients. When I say set myself up for success, you know, like rather than saying I'm going to walk 6 times this week. Well, is that actually realistic? So break that down even into smaller chunks. You know, I just want to do, you know, what I did a coaching session with this personal trainer. She's brilliant. And she had me do a little chart that I put on the fridge, and it was in 15-minute increments with literally a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was an hour 25. And every time, and down the side, I had a list. I had walking, gardening, swimming, all the different things that I dancing, yoga, whatever it was that I did for exercise. And every time I did a 15-minute increment, I just put a little thing. And my goal was to have 2 hours a week in the beginning. So all I needed was 8 little things. And that was really useful, a useful strategy. Another strategy that I use with my clients, we have this, what we call moving away and moving towards. So, I had one client, I think it was last week or the week before, and she's carrying a lot of weight. And she wants to go and have her excess skin off, but to do that, she needs to lose a little bit more. And she's booked in, so she's motivated to do it. But I said, well, is it going to motivate you more to look at a photo of your largest, of what you don't want, or look at a photo in an outfit or, how you used to be of what you do want? And she said it would actually motivate her more to look at herself that she doesn't want to be. So that's moving away from. So that's pain. So that's linking pain. She doesn't want that. What do you want? So whenever she's feeling lazy or, eating too much, get out that photo and put it there so you're constantly reminded of what you don't want. And so that can be a strategy that can work for some people as well. So, build up small layers and really challenge that dialogue.
There's so much knowledge, so much wisdom and great strategies, really. It's not easy, but it can be absolutely easy.
Yeah. And I've just got another one, because I did Tony Robbins the other week, and they said if you can't stop something, so if it's too hard for you to go and exercise, that means you need to do it. So it's like reframing. If you can't do something or can't stop something, and that stopping might be being lazy, if you can't stop something, that means you have to change. So use that as your reason why you have to change. If you can't get off the couch, you have to get off the couch. If you can't stop drinking coffee, you have to stop drinking coffee. If you can't get up and walk around the block, you have to get up and walk around the block.
Yeah, absolutely. Change is a huge limiting. It's a challenge for a lot of people, and I think that's like what you ladies are talking about is just spot on, and it's really that simple. I think we've covered it here. That it is about getting used to change, and understanding what that means for us as individuals, because we're not comfortable with it. I know that for a fact after having a baby recently, and we were just talking about that, like that threshold, like getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, the physical change and pain was extraordinary. And yet I've been teaching clients something similar, just work through a little bit of pain to get a nice change in your body, because that's what the body reacts to. It wants to feel muscles being worked. It wants to feel the fresh air in its lungs. And I love what you're saying about changing your identity, because, oh gosh, I can't tell you how many clients, I'm sure you too, Caz, being a personal trainer in amongst with what you do, they've just struggled, with the language, and they believe that they will always have issues with losing weight. Like they need to go on a diet again. Like they get desperate. They're, and it's, they're getting desperate, and it's really, they're really going this, that's why a lot of people go into yo-yo dieting or on and off with exercise. I think, just understanding that change, we're all changing, and it's for the better. And if we start to get comfortable with the idea that good health is available to us, that we are enough, that we have the resources available to us to change physically, to change our habits, to love healthy food, to enjoy the invigoration of exercise, it's amazing what can happen. So, with clients out there, I think, being aware of the language, setting an intention, like everything that you girls have been saying, is really the key. It's, we could go on about what exercise to do, how often, how many weights and reps, but really the best results, I think, that we've seen, I don't know if you ladies agree, is with the mindset, is really understanding the mindset. What do you think, ladies?
Yeah. Well, I think, people need to stop looking at numbers on scales and stop looking at, the clothes that they think they should wear, and start just taking a no matter what approach. So, but the no matter what approach is to living a healthy, realistic, happy life. So if you're feeding yourself fresh, healthy, non-processed foods majority of the time, treating yourself in moderation, just a little bit, enough to satisfy your need, and then to let it go, as long as you're not using food as a crutch for emotions. Yeah. If you're activating your body every day in some way, but for those of us who are aging, if we do some resistance 3 times a week, and that can be gardening, it can be doing housework, it can be anything like that, because we do need to maintain that muscle mass. And we also want to do that so that we're burning the extra calories, because as we age, we do gain fat around our organs. So it's important, for us to be healthy and just take a no matter what approach. It's not this instant gratification thing that everybody's striving for these days. Must happen now. It's got to happen within a month, or I'm quitting. Just commit to the process. This is my way of living. I have a no matter what approach. I will be healthy. I will feed myself beautiful, nurturing foods. I will relax and enjoy the sunshine, ground myself to the earth, connect, and I will be active and move. It's a recipe for a beautiful life.
Yeah, a beautiful life, a beautiful body. Like, it comes hand in hand. I think the results of weight loss come from what you ladies are saying, like what you just said there, Kaz. If you're enjoying the sun and being grateful and having intentions, you naturally feel motivated to move and to feel good and to live a healthy, long-lasting, healthy lifestyle. It's just effortless with that kind of attitude. What do you think, Christy?
Yeah, I think the identity piece is really important. And I know with my clients, I can sit down and we can brainstorm all the actions. Yep, walk 3 times a week, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to eat less. But the thing is if they come back to me and they're not acting, it's identity. It's identity, because logically they know what they need to do, and yet they're not doing it. Then we know it's the mind. And so so usually when I start working with a client, I'll start on identity and their why are they doing it, to really sort of myelinate those neurons, work neurologically to really get them linked to what they want and really reinforce that like a highway. So you're actually changing the way they think and rewiring their brain to think differently. And so that's their whole identity piece. And at some point, I do need to do actions. And so I start putting them in, but I know then if they're not taking them, I know straight more identity work, more limiting beliefs. And so I just really sit in that space and do a lot of work in that space. So because I do mindset and results. So the result is losing the weight, but we've got to shift the mindset to get them there. So they work really well together. I think another motivation, you were talking about, as you age, like we are different. I'm really motivated. And I think this has been one of my key things to helping me change. And I'm saying this because I think it might help a lot of women that are watching this, and men as well. I'm really motivated I want to age gracefully, and I want to be fit in my old age. I don't want to be the woman that falls over because she's overweight and just not fit. I want to be walking. I want to be doing the Camino de Santiago. Like, I want to have a fit and healthy old age. And so I'm doing the work now so that it's easier for then, you know, because so by then it'll be more of a habit. So I'm really, really motivated by what I don't want in my old age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by what you do want in your old age too, because
Oh yeah, both. I have, yeah. So I use the vision of what I want. So that's the pleasure, is the vision of what I want and how I'm going to feel. And I actually feel how I'm going to feel, how good that feels, because I know when I exercise, I feel good.
Yeah.
And then there's the pain of like, I'll have the vision of what I don't want. So
Emotions are so much stronger.
yeah.
Well, they can be quite strong. Like if you actually do feel good and healthy, like, yeah, it's so much like the body just listens to that, rather than, you know, we can say, oh, you know, I feel good, you know, but you do eventually want to really feel it. And yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And why are we doing it? Why are we exercising, people? That is the question. Ladies, I am so enthralled with what you are doing next. Can you describe a little bit more about your future projects? I think it'd be great for people to know just a little bit about what is next for you ladies and how they can join you in future consults and programs. Caz, would you like to start?
Sure. So as I said previously, I'm rebranding, and that'll be due to launch end of this month, early next month. And so at the moment I'm working on a course which is relevant to our self-directed healing. So for those of you who may have only just started watching these Mindset Magic, Alia and Christy and myself are all self-directed healing practitioners, and we work with releasing your limiting beliefs and emotional baggage. So I'm actually building a course around that, and it'll be a group healing course. So that's coming up for me. I'm working madly on that. And there'll also be one-on-one healing and packages available with that. So watch this space at Chaos to Calm Healing, because that'll be a rebrand and a name change.
So they can contact you on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be a total. So I'll change it all over. Chaos to Calm will stay as it is, and the new brand will go to the side and be its own identity. But I'll mention it all on Chaos to Calm as well.
Perfect. And Christy, what's next for you? How can we contact you?
So before what's next, I've got a couple more tips that I haven't covered. So let me just quickly share them. So one is a rebounder. So in the Tony Robbins course, they said to everybody, you have to get yourself a little mini trampoline rebounder, because I didn't know this, but I've been drinking lots of milk and having lots of milk because I thought that was good for my bones. But apparently the studies are showing that's not the case. It's actually impact. Impact work is good for your bone density. Yeah, so I never knew that. So I've just ordered, I got it last week, my rebounder off Orbit, and I got the one with the big sort of rubber bungee strings. That's the one they said to get. It's brilliant. It's actually really nice. So I'm jumping on that for about 5 minutes here and there. I'm finding when I jump, it's kind of impacting my back a little bit, just because I'm not used to it, not in a bad way. So I'm going to do 5 minutes here and there, and then I'm going to build up to 6 minutes and build that up. So I'm working on my bone density. Another thing that they mentioned was osteo strong. So a lot of work, I'm working on alignment, because we can get issues with our feet and our knees and our, you know, all our body, and we treat those issues. But the thing is if we can get our core aligned and balanced, you know, just by doing simple circles and this sort of stuff, just working our body, getting our hips straight, lying on our back with our legs up on a chair. So Osteo Strong do a free consultation, and that's all about, you know, getting your body and exercises right for your physique. So that's really, really powerful as well. So yeah, I've booked in to do that, and I just thought that might be worth sharing. So, you know, get online, because we're in the information age. There's so much information online, and free fitness classes and online classes, and there's just a plethora of information out there. So, you know, let your fingers do the talking and find all this free stuff, because it's really good what's out there.
Gut health is important.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm building same as the last one. So I'm building a Living with Passion and Purpose program. That's going to be an ongoing membership program. I'm doing my one-to-one results coaching sessions. I'm doing my self-directed healing sessions. So people can book in. Usually how that works is you'll book in for a free strategy call. We'll have a conversation about where you're at, where you want to go, and discuss if, you know, what I do is a good match for you. And we just go from there naturally, organically. And in the background, I'm building programs. So I've got a lot coming up in the future. I've got a lot going on my Facebook page, Christy Roberts Creating Change. I'm doing weekly videos. I've got anxiety, how to deal with anger, all different things, all different topics. So I've got a weekly video that comes out. And I'm just about to start doing weekly interviews. So I'm getting experts from all different fields, and we're going to come together and share some information. So they'll be really informative, and they'll be coming up.
Perfect.
Just a way of sharing, adding value.
Absolutely. And how can we contact you, Christy?
Yeah, so you'll get me. I'm building my website. That's still in progress. It will be Christy Roberts Coaching. And on Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm on so you know that little @ symbol. Christy Roberts Coaching is where you'll find me. Yeah. And I should probably also mention that I'm doing a lot of work in the grief space. So I'm getting a lot of referrals now from people who are grieving or who know someone who's grieving deeply in that acute phase. And so because I've got a lot of experience with grief now, unfortunately, I'm able to help in that space. So
perfect.
Reach out.
That's amazing. I just love your work, ladies.
And Alia, what are you up to with a 13-day-old?
Newborn baby? Well, I'm seeing... Now that's over and done with. Let's talk about a journey. Well, I've got a client after this. I am seeing clients one-on-one. Basically I've got a rebirth program, and I help my clients to let go of old limiting beliefs and emotions that are driving emotional eating or lack of motivation in fitness, and creating good plans and support and strategies for clients so they can prepare to give birth to their babies, so prenatal work. And for those who have gained 10 kilos, for example, I help clients regain a healthier lifestyle with both nutrition, exercise, and mindset. And I really love doing these consults one-on-one. So you're more than welcome to have a look at what that's about at personalhealthcoach.com.au. Is there anything else you ladies wanted to add in?
Yeah, can I just say, I've lost 20 kilos in the last 6 or 7 years. So what I'm doing is clearly working.
You're looking great.
And I've kept it off. I've got a whole new wardrobe. Oh, that's another thing. Once you get the weight off, commit to a new wardrobe, because the benefits of doing that psychologically is really powerful.
Yeah.
How many dress sizes?
I was bursting out of a 16 plus.
Yeah.
And now an easy 12.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's remarkable. It's just it's a beautiful thing to have a healthy lifestyle. It's really easy, isn't it?
So much more. It's, and it affects everything. It affects your self-esteem, your confidence, your relationships, the way you feel about yourself. Like, I have so much more energy, so much less stress. I mean, my life is stressful, but I cope with it, and everything's just easier. And, and you guys would know this as well. Once you start, everyone knows this, but once you start exercising, you feel good.
Yeah.
But you've got to start. It's the starting. It's just getting it going and getting into that rhythm and just keep going.
Yeah. And I would say, get prepared the morning before. Or the night before.
Yes.
So I don't want to wake BJ up in the morning. So I set my clothes into this room. So I'm in this tiny little room that I'm in is the room that I do all of my training in. I bring my clothes in here the night before so that I can just sneak out of the room and not wake him up. It doesn't have to be expensive. This is a little resistance band. It's from Kmart. A packet of these costs $6.
Yeah.
These resistance bands from Kmart, I think they were maybe $10. And I have some dumbbells. These are mine, but you can get these from Kmart. So there's already 3 different sessions that I can do in this one tiny little room with maybe $20 worth of equipment. So there really is no excuse to get started. Yes, Christy has reminded us about our mindset, and it is really important. But the biggest thing is put a little rocket under your bum, get organised the night before, get your clothes out, get your equipment out, have the session you're going to do planned so you can just click on your iPad and do it. You can do it in your undies if you want. Do it in your undies and your bra in the morning. Who's going to see?
I do it just before a shower.
Yeah.
I get sweaty. I'll do a plank in the bathroom tiles, on the bathroom tiles. I'll do jumps to tone glutes, thighs. I'll do like 5 different movements, which take 5 to 6 minutes. And I get to a point where I'm huffing and puffing and sweating. And it only takes 5-6 minutes, and then I have a shower.
Yeah.
So wash it all off, and it feels great. And it's so, like you say, you can do it anyway. Yeah. With limited equipment and a trampoline, like choose your vice.
I love it. I love it. I don't know how long we've been going for, but I would be really interested if you girls, because I don't have like I'd love to know what 6 exercises you do, or what a couple of key exercises that you do with your dumbbells and your stretch bands. I think for the extra 2 minutes, it would be worth it.
Yeah, so things like compound exercises. So when you're training and you're someone who's not motivated, you want to get maximum benefit from minimum time. So compound exercises are exercises that work your whole body in one movement. So let's say I had my 2 dumbbells and I was holding them here at my shoulders. I squat down, I stand up, and I raise the weights above my head. So I've just worked my shoulders, my biceps, my upper body, my legs. So anything that's a compound movement, and you can Google that, just Google compound exercises. They work your whole body, or they work at least your large muscle groups all at the same time. And it just makes it so much more efficient. Your workout's done way more quickly, and you feel really, really well trained at the end of it. Perfect. So that would be my biggest hint.
Okay.
Yeah, whole body compound exercises using weights or a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Christy, what do you do?
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So I walk or I garden.
Trampoline.
Yeah, so I've just got that.
Yeah.
And in the instructions, it told me how to build it, but it didn't give me exercises. I'm literally just jumping on it. I'll have to Google.
Yeah, look, you could do opposite elbows to knees, just walking pace, but opposite elbows to knees, things like that. You could do butt kicks while you're moving your arms back. So you're kicking your butt with your feet, but you're moving your arms backwards and forwards.
Oh.
Literally, you look up compound exercises, and if you look up low impact compound exercises, they're ones that you'd be able to do, many of them, on your tramp as well. You do have to be really careful, obviously, with balance on a tramp.
Yes.
But yeah, if you perhaps practice them on the floor until your body's good with them, go to the tramp and do them on there. And then if you wanted to, you may be able to add some very light weights in as well on the tramp. But, you know, it's gradual, and you have to be careful and mindful of balance.
Yeah, I would add in that, like, that's it's so important to start with compound exercises or foundational movements, such as something that looks after your core, like a plank. The key is, like, if you're feeling it in your back or in your shoulder, or you're feeling some pain, you really need to sometimes step back and work on that a little bit beforehand, as well as doing the jumps of joy on your trampoline. So yeah, that's, you know, I always tell clients, just like what you said, Kaz, to do as much as you can in limited amount of time. So I'd get them to do jumps where they can feel the glutes, the inner thighs, for example. There's like split squat jumps, or get them to learn to break down a burpee and eventually do 10 burpees, any age, like I just get So, but that takes time to get into that. Even jumping on a trampoline, like, it's important to listen to your body and to feel the strength of your core and arms, like Kaz said, with compound, and then enjoy, you know, you enjoy the various movements. You can, you know, that invigoration on the trampoline. So yeah, if I was to tell anyone about, you know, advice about exercise, you know, try and learn a burpee in a way that you know, works for your body. So yeah, there's a few split moments of a burpee, you know, clapping over the head, coming down onto your tummy. So you can do it nice and slow, lying down on your tummy, and then somehow getting your legs up again, and then doing a jump. So, you know, listening to your body and working with all those movements of compound, invigoration, stretching even. What do you reckon, ladies? Shall we wrap it up from here?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel like you have any emotional energy blocks holding you back or stopping you from living your best life, or you feel like you just want to do an emotional dump of any negative or painful energy, or you want to be uplifted with some exercise tips and mindset, please reach out to any of the hosts of Mindset Magic. We've got Christy Roberts, we've got Caz Sanderman, and myself, Alia Steglinski. We are all self-directed healing practitioners with various other skills, from transformation to personal training, a wealth of knowledge. And we are all happy to organize a free discovery session with you, either through Zoom or through telephone. So you can find our contact details in the description underneath this video. So it is an absolute pleasure talking to you, ladies. Thank you for being part of this amazing journey of learning about what really creates a magical mindset. So thank you so much, ladies, and we will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.